Hello everyone, today I want to show you how to make this flat beaded kumihimo bracelet using a bit of a different material, and this is what it looks like here. And this is using beading wire, so you get quite a different effect than using, say, cord or regular wire. It's quite substantial in the shape, but still at the same time also flexible, so you can shape it around like that, so it's going to be comfortable to wear. But you have this flat kumihimo braid where then added the beads, in this case rondelles, on the edge to just give a little bit of extra colour, but also bling because they're faceted. And this is then what it can look like on. So you can see you have a really nice effect of the braid there in the middle, but using that different material. And then the beads on the edge just give that really nice sparkle and colour to it as well. So if you want to learn how to make this bracelet, then keep watching. So these are the materials that we're going to use. First of all, here I have my square kumihimo disc because it's a flat braid that we're making. Then as for the threading material, I'm using this beading thread here. I just got this silver colour because that would be a nice colour to then go with the beads, I thought. And these beads here are some rondelles, the faceted purple, and the 3x4mm, but these are just the ones that I'm using. You can use other kinds and shapes of beads. And then I also here then have some ribbon ends that I'm going to finish off the piece with, and then using them along with my findings. So I've got an extended chain lost or claw clasp and then my jump rings. So let's get it all together and let's get started. So what we then need to do first of all is cut some lengths of our beading wire here, and what I have is 24 lengths of about 50 centimeters each, and what I've also done is just tied a knot here on the end to hold them all together. So I then took all the lengths here and placed them onto my disc. I have that knot coming out at the back, that's where the braid is going to be coming out as well. And then I distributed the rest of the lengths like this on the disc. So I have 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom here, straight across from each other. And also what I have is in each slot there, I actually have 3 lengths together. So that's what I'm going to be working with throughout. 3 lengths are going to be working as if they were 1. And then as for the structure here, what we're going to do is I want to start by making a little section of the braid just to get a bit of braid going here before adding any beads and kind of get into the rhythm. So I'm going to take from the top row, not obviously we have 2 right in the middle here, 1 to the right side but in the middle, so this one here, and it's coming from the right side of the disc. Imagine there's a line going straight down, splitting the disc in half, and then coming over towards the left side. So I'm taking it right on the right side of the middle and then bring it over towards the left, and then I'm taking the left one from the middle and bringing that over towards the right. So basically these 2 lengths in that middle from the top have crossed over each other, and that's what we want to make sure to do all the time throughout, because that's how we're going to get a connected braid and it's going to form the whole braid together. So that's the ones we brought to the side. Now I want to start crossing the top and the bottom ones over the middle here. So I'm then going to go to the bottom. Again, imagine that you have a line down through the center of your disc, so we kind of have 2 halves, 2 sides. Doesn't matter what side you start on. I'm just going to take the left one first. So I'm going to take the one in the middle, you could say, right on the left side, bring that up, and then place that in the slot right above it. So still staying on the left side of the disc, and that's the slot that we freed up by bringing the one out to the side. Then I'm going to take the next one, working outwards from the middle out to the side, on the top there, so the one that's right next to it, bring that down, and then place it into the slot that we just freed up on the bottom here. And then take the next one out from the middle towards the side, bring that up, and into the next one on the top here that we just freed up. So that's all the ones on this half of the disc moved. We need to do the same on the other side. So I take the one just to the right of the middle, bring that across the middle up to the empty slot on the top, and then I take the next one out, bring that down and into the empty slot that we just freed up on the bottom here, and then the last one out, bring that up into the empty slot on the top that we just freed up. So basically you could say the lengths are almost chasing each other because you keep filling in the slot that you just emptied from the previous movement. And then we go back to the side lengths again. So again, I just take one side first, it doesn't matter which one. Take the one on the right here. I kind of like to push all the lengths in there together, and then I bring it down because where we have empty slots now is on the bottom side. So bring that just down, stay on the right side, the same side that you take it from. And then the same with the left one. Just push that in a little bit. And then bring that down as well. And now all the lengths are back in the original position. So then just to show you again here, I take my top here, kind of the middle one just to the right of it, bring that out to the left side, and then the middle one just to the left, bring that out towards the right. So going to the opposite side of the disc where you're taking it from, and then we need to cross over the bottom and the top ones. So start from the bottom here, I'll grab the just to the left of the middle, bring that up, and now also just want to mention the way I kind of like to work here. Right now, which is the beginning of the braid, but it's going to be a good way to work throughout. I like to try and keep them as tight as possible to get a nice and neat braid, because this material here is quite springy and it doesn't want to necessarily nestle up that well, so you kind of got to make it work that way. Bring that up to the top. So then I bring the next one down. So what I like to do is, as I'm bringing this down, I just like to kind of push them tight together right there in the middle. Same with the outer one, bring that up. So I'm basically holding the length and pulling it a little bit while pushing against all the other ones in the middle. And that just kind of makes the braid a little bit tighter. It's mainly because of this material, like I said, it's quite springy and smooth and slippery as well. But it gives a really nice effect in the end. Then the other side, same thing. Bring that up, and then the next one bring that down, to making sure to push it tight. And then the last one, bring that up. And then again with the side ones, just bring the outer one down, and before I just bring all the way down, I just push against it in the middle there, just to tighten it up. And the same thing with the other side. So just like that. So that's basically the movements. You can see we're now in the back in the original position again, and you just keep going like this. So what I want to do is do a few more movements of this, so we have a bit of section of the braid before I then add in the beads as well. So now I moved a little bit further in the braid here, and I have my section coming out the back, and then I wanted to show you how to add in the beads as well. So I'm in this position here where I was going to bring my outer ones on the side down to both sides there, and then we're back in the original position and to start again. But this is then just where I want to add the beads. So what I want to do is add one bead here on the outer one, just add one bead onto all the lengths that we have, and then push that all the way in there, and you kind of use the bead to help push the lengths close in the middle there as well. And then I bring it down, and then that bead just sits right there in the middle on the side of the braid. And the same thing on the other side, just release the lengths and then add a bead onto all of them, and then push that into the middle and use that to kind of push the lengths close, more tight. So there we go. Now the lengths are back in the original position, and you then just want to continue. So I bring the middle ones to the opposite side, and make sure you always start with the same one here in the middle to stay consistent throughout. And then we need to bring the bottom ones up first here, so one side at a time, and again make sure to kind of help push it tight as you keep moving across to get a nice final piece. And now we're reaching the outer one here, which is the one where I added the bead. So what you've made sure to do now is that when you crossed over the ones from the middle out, they lay on top of the beads, and you want to make sure the bead stays underneath there. So it's already there, just make sure it doesn't pop out, and help push it tighter. Again, the bead helps with that as well, and bring it up. And then the same on the other side. So bring that up first of all, and then the next one down. And then the outer one here with the bead on, just push that close together before then bringing that up. And then I like to just kind of release the side ones just to get a little bit more control over all the lengths. And here we're now back in the position where we just need to bring the outer ones on the side down to the bottom here, and then that's the original position. But this is then where I want to add the beads in again. So you just add another bead onto all the lengths here, push it down just like I showed you before, and then the same on the other side, push that down as well, and then bring them down to the bottom, and then you just keep repeating this over and over. So you just basically now want to add the beads to the sides every time, and then they're going to build up on the side of the braid just nicely. And obviously do that for however long you need it to be. And then also what I just want to do is, once I have my beaded section as long as I want, you want to finish off the other end with a little bit of the braid just without the beads, again just like the beginning there, just so we have something to work with and to finish it off with. So once I then reached the length that I need, it looks a little something like this, and I took it off of my disc, and then what I did to make sure obviously my braid didn't come undone was I held on to this little section where I just had the braid without the beads, and then I released my lengths from the disc, and then I just tied a knot on this end as well with the excess. So it's just to make sure that, like I said, the braid up here isn't going to come undone because this is very springy material. So what there's left to do now is finish off the ends of the piece. So I'm going to be using these ribbon ends here. They're going to fit this perfectly and give a nice professional finish. And then I can use these loops on them to attach my findings, so my clasp and extender chain. I already have a tutorial where I show how to use these. You just put a bit of glue inside and then clamp them onto the end, but obviously we just need to cut the excess off first. Now for this material, like I said, you can't really just cut through and leave it like that as it is because it's going to come undone. What I'm going to do is just add glue to the end while it's in this braided form, and then once the glue is dry, and it's tacky still, so I'm going to be using a glue that once it dries it stays soft. I'm going to cut through that right where the glue is, so there's still going to be glue on this side as well. It's just to hold the end together while I cut off the excess, and then you can finish it off in the same way by using these ribbon ends here. So just do that, attach your findings, and then you'll have your finished bracelet. So this is then what it looks like once I've finished off the ends here with the ribbon ends, and then attach my clasp as well, the other end with the extender chain, and then it's ready to wear. So obviously I just use my clasp here, and then it's going to be nice and secure, and there you have your bracelet. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you very much for watching.